Welcome to the GLS podcast. This is our bonus show, Faculty Spotlight, where we spend a few minutes getting to know some of this year's Summit faculty. I'm Lori Hermann, executive producer of the Global Leadership Summit, and today our guest is Bear Grylls. He's the most recognizable face of adventure on the planet. He's a former British Special Forces soldier and one of the youngest ever climbers of Mount Everest. He's gone on to host more extreme adventure TV shows across more global networks than anyone else in history. He's a #1 best-selling author, honorary colonel to the Royal Marine Commandos. He's the youngest ever Chief Scout and ambassador to 50 million scouts worldwide. And he's a husband, dad, and dedicated family man. Bear's one busy man, and today I get a chance to talk to him. So hi, Bear.
Hey.
Well, we are here in the Swiss mountains, and we just finished filming your talk for the summit this year, and I cannot wait for people to hear it. You guys are going to be so inspired to hear what the practical things that Bear has to say, but we wanted to give you a little hint, a little inside behind the scenes to learn something that's not in his talk. So first off, when you're out in the wild, you have eaten some pretty crazy things like yak eyes and hearts, and you even bit a head off a snake. So what's been the most disgusting thing that you've ever eaten?
Oh my God, that's a long list of bad memories, from yak intestinal fluids to, eyeballs to, scorpions and tarantulas and, rat brain.
How do you even do it?
Goat's testicles, that was the worst. Yeah, you don't even want to know about those, yeah.
Do you have to psych yourself up? Do you have I can do it,
Well, I think when I'm out there and you're A, I'm hungry, B, I need the energy, good protein, and you kind of, survival is about doing the difficult and sometimes the unimaginable, but I'm definitely not like that at home. I think sometimes people think I'm always like, drinking my own urine all day at home, which I most definitely am not.
So when you're taking your wife out for dinner, what's your favorite food?
I love a really good Italian.
Good.
But we kind of cook quite a lot at home. We got 3 young boys.
Yeah.
They love to make cakes, so we do quite a lot of that.
Do you cook?
I do cook.
Is that one of your things?
My passion in terms of cooking is to cook really healthy food in a delicious way.
Good.
And that's a challenge. My wife, on the other hand, she goes, the best bit about when you go away filming is when we get all the ice cream back in and all the bad food back
Pizza.
in. Yeah. So there's a little bit of a tussle like that. But yeah, you got to have the odd weak moment as well, haven't you? If I was having a really weak moment, it would be probably a really good cheesecake.
That's awesome. Well, one of the things I'm really excited about is your new Netflix series and the whole interactive piece about it. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, that's pretty fun. It's called You vs. Wild, and it's the first ever interactive adventure show ever done, and it's where the viewer can choose what I do. So I'll reach the jungle river, and there are crocs in it. Do I swim it or do I make a raft? You decide. And so it was hard work to film. She had to film so many different solutions and problems and outcomes to everything. But I'm really proud of it. Great team again. Worked so hard with me, and we did it in mountains, deserts, jungles. And,
so creative.
So it's pretty fun.
So when you were filming that, do you, I'm guessing you have to film everything. How much of a part do you play in the creative scenarios of it? Is that a piece that you like to get involved with?
Well, the thing, we all get involved with it. Everyone, from the camera teams to the safety guys, and we sit around in the evening, we kind of plan fun things. But it was more like kind of making a movie in many ways than our normal journeys where it's like small team, gun it and go. This is much more because it's, it's like a spider web of different outcomes and solutions. But really fun and really proud of what we've done here. And, great support from Netflix, and I hope people enjoy it.
Oh, man, I can't wait. It's very fun. Out in the wild, is there anything you're afraid of? Like when you're approaching some of the things you're doing?
For sure. I think there are not many days we were out filming where, we come across, you've got to be super respectful of the wild. I've almost died in avalanches and down deep crevasses and been bitten by snakes and chased by angry crocodiles and sharks and you name it. And we're, as as a team, very respectful. You've got to get it right. You only get it wrong once. So there are many things that I have a really healthy respect for, and it's about learning to use the fear that we all have to try and kind of help us stay focused and do it well and stay alive. But I probably actually get more nervous for things, I think, in everyday life, actually. In the wild, it is a zone that I'm kind of used to and
comfortable.
Well, it's not sure it's comfortable, but I know how to do this stuff, But I get much more nervous going to a school cocktail party with lots of parents drinking glass.
Me too.
Really?
Man, total introvert.
Oh, good.
Let me
I
stand
find it
against the
really
wall.
hard, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And Shara, my wife, often goes, "Come on, it's fine. You've climbed Everest. You can manage the drinks party."
Yes, well,
And
the
she's
drinks are probably
right,
better than some of that urine stuff that you drink when you're out in the wild. No?
Borderline. Yeah.
Okay. Well, you are a pretty busy guy. You're involved in a lot of other things, but I know you're a committed and dedicated family guy. How do you balance? Any tips for balancing the successful career and kind of vocation that you have and just the commitment you have to your family?
I think it's a dance, isn't it? And it's a really challenging thing for all of us in our lives, trying to get that balance right. I think what I've learned through failure more than anything is don't be on that line. There's always that line, that balance, and try and stay the right side of it. Generally, I find for me, when I'm on the line, when I know I'm on that line, I'm probably the wrong side of it. So, and have clear priorities in your life, and try and just keep it family first. And there's always going to be so many things demanding, pulling us all in lots of different directions. But having kind of focus of, listen, my relationship with my wife is one, and with the children, and protect and guard that. And sometimes there'll be flash points, and you've got to kind of it's having good judgment and wisdom through those. But listen, I certainly don't get it always right, but I've learned a lot by getting it wrong, and I'm much more disciplined, and I've learned to say no a lot more, I think, now.
That's hard sometimes, the saying no part.
But actually, it's kind of also good.
Yeah. Well, you talked about you're going to be speaking at the Leadership Summit and about things you've learned. What have you learned that you wish you would have known as a young leader, that you know now, but you wish you would have known then?
Gosh, I think you look at the qualities in great leaders. I've learned so much by key people in my life who I've looked at and have got it so right, and I think we know the things of great leaders, that you do need to be brave in big moments, and you need to have that tenacity in difficult moments. You've got to have kind of vision, to take people with you. I do think integrity is a really key part of it. But for me, the difference between a good leader and a really great leader, and I've known a few of them in my times in the military and other things, the differentiator for me actually is humility. And it's a funny one because you don't hear so much about that, but it really is. And what is humility? It's not thinking less of yourself. I think somebody once described it as thinking of yourself less. And in other words, you're caring for other people ahead of yourselves. And I think when you come across, really strong, great leaders who the hallmark is that humility, because they care. They really care for you before them, and it's that sort of, service first. And when you come across it, it's really inspiring. You think, I'm going to follow that person because he's got my back. And it's a rare thing, but I do think it's what separates the good from the great is humility.
Well, just in the little bit of time that I've been able to see you interact with our team, I can see that you've learned that lesson. You're a humble person.
Work in progress.
You're a humble
Work
person
in progress.
for all that you've accomplished, and so you're an example of that to all of us.
Thank
So
you.
again, thank you so much for doing this and for being a part of the summit this year. You're not going to want to miss Bear's talk, so make sure you come to the summit, and we'll see you at the summit.